Or am I just trying to mold myself into something that other people would like? Not everyone is just going to like you, and not everyone needs to like you. I think if you can risk that every now and then those are the moments that you grow the most. Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. Yes, it is official. Since around 2 weeks now, as I'm making this video, I have been a 30-year-old woman. I turned 30 on the 19th of May, and when I was kind of switching and turning into 30, and when I turned 30, I was thinking a lot about my 20s and just kind of going through all the things that I've gone through. I remember always, especially in the beginning of my 20s, I thought and always thought that 30 years old, that's not old, but that's when you're an adult. I, for the longest time in my 20s, really did not feel like an adult. And I think when I turned 30, I really kind of felt that in a really, really good way. Like, I feel really good being 30. I am so happy to be 30. I was thinking if I wanted to make some kind of a video of the lessons that I've learned. Let's go. Number one, you might never feel like you are loved enough unless you learn to love yourself first. In the beginning of my 20s, I was still very non-confident, and I placed a lot of my value on the opinions of others, and I worried a lot about what other people would think about me. I never wanted to necessarily, and I would have never admitted that in my 20s, in the early 20s, but I know that that was the case, and I always cared what people thought, whether it was about what I was doing, what I looked like, and I just, I wanted to please everybody, and I never really thought about what is it that I want and what would make me happy, and how can I learn to love myself and therefore be confident with myself. I never even considered the idea of, well, do I like myself, or am I just trying to mold myself into something that other people would like? And I realized that the second answer was more right. I've learned to love myself for who I am and my opinions and what I am, what I do, what I want in life, my mindset and everything like that. When I started to do that, I think is the first time I really started to feel the true love that I knew that everyone had for me and my family, and obviously Alex as well. But I started to really feel that more deeply because I guess I could understand why, in a sense. You always are more able to convince yourself that someone might not love you for reasons A, B, or C if you don't like yourself first, if you don't love yourself first. So that is my absolute number one lesson that I wish I would have started earlier in my life. Staying with the same subject of self-love, a really important part about that is also that true self-love comes when you start to accept the things that you are least confident about yourself and the things that you fear the most. Now, we as human beings are obviously very attracted to a very comfortable life. We try to kind of walk away, run away, avoid. It's a very natural thing. I don't even think that we do it consciously at all, but anything that makes us feel uncomfortable, unconfident, makes us feel scared or anything, we just don't do, won't approach, or won't even try doing it, and we'll just try to avoid it, with all of our power, basically. And that is including our little own monsters or little fears that we have within ourselves. And we've all done mistakes. We've all made mistakes in life. We all have something that we don't perhaps love about ourselves. And there's a lot of things that we might fear in life. It's easier to think that pretending that it doesn't exist is just going to make it go away. But the thing is, it is within us. It is within our subconscious. One day I decided that I'm just going to face those little demons and also just kind of accepting them. Like, if I made a mistake in my life, which, my God, we've all made mistakes, and some of them bigger, some of them smaller, and you just have to face them and say, okay, well, that was wrong, and be honest with yourself. But then also be okay with that and learn to accept that and love that and forgive yourself if you did something wrong, for example. But it's so important to face those demons, because only then I feel like you have space to actually grow and move forward. And I found that really, really powerful for myself, at least. The third lesson that I would say is really, really important, that I think I'm still trying to truly learn and embrace myself as well, and that is that it does not matter what other people think about you. It really, really, really doesn't. My whole life, I would say, I've been a very big people pleaser. That was kind of always how I wanted to lead life. It was to make other people happy, and I wanted to, be accepted and try to make someone happy and be kind. Like, I was a nice person. There's like nothing technically wrong with being a people pleaser, but it only becomes a little bit harmful to yourself when you're just completely neglecting what it is that you actually want and what are your actual needs, and just doing everything and anything to please everybody else, right? Not everybody needs to like you. That is just impossible to ever do. And if you try to do that, I will guarantee you that I think was something that I tried to do. I just wanted everyone to like me, or at least no one to hate me. And I've had a couple of moments where I had no idea why this person did not like me or hated me, even though I thought I was being super kind, super nice, really caring and loving or whatever. Not everyone is just going to like you, and not everyone needs to like you, and you need to just accept that right now. A lot of people, whilst they might care for a split little tiny second of what you're doing, who you're dating, what you're wearing, whatever it is, they're gonna forget about it very, very quick. Everyone's just kind of looking out for themselves and thinking about what they're doing, focusing on their dreams, their goals, what they like, and etc. Do what you want to do, because life is too short not to do that. The fourth one, I think, is again something very, very important. I think it's gonna sound super duper obvious, but I think when you're kind of going through life, living life, to some extent, I felt like my subconscious at least maybe forgot that, or wasn't really aware of what it actually meant. And that is that success comes from actual hard work and smart work. It's not going to be easy to achieve your dreams and your goals. It's definitely not always going to be easy, and most likely it's going to be really, really difficult and uncomfortable. I was ready for the challenge that it would be to start a company. I knew it would be challenging, but sitting here today, even though I was, in my opinion, expecting the worst, it was way worse than that. It's been an adventure, and it's been amazing and exciting, but 100% I can guarantee you that it is way harder than I thought that it would be. Even if I thought I was ready for the absolute worst, I definitely wasn't. It's been physically and mentally one of the most challenging things in my life. That's what makes life adventures, in my opinion. I think I'm coming to that in a later point as well. I did have a little bit of a false image of how easily things would come. Like, working hard was nothing new to me, but the amount of and type of hard work that it takes and has taken us to build our company is something quite different to the hard work that I know that I did also in university and everything. And sometimes I was looking for the easy way out. But in the end of the day, the way to success is only by working hard. You need to work hard. You need to work a lot. And of course, at the same time, do that smartly, and you will achieve your goals. And you can achieve anything you imagine in your head, but you do need to put in the work. There is no easy way out. Let's move on to the next one, and I feel like this is especially important for anyone who has found me through my thin hair videos, as I always like to call them. Every single human being has some kind of insecurity when it comes to the shallow part, the outer body. I've been a very insecure person a lot of my life, and I know that I can easily find something to not be happy about within my body, my hair, or my looks, and of course I can. We all can. And the thing that I realized, true beauty truly comes from the inside. If you feel like you're a kind and nice person, if you feel like you like yourself as a person, that you're a beautiful person from the inside, it is so much easier to see that beauty from the outside as well. It's kind of like, I always say, when you're meeting a guy or whoever you're meeting, you might see someone who is super handsome, like just a gorgeous human being from the outside. And then you get to know them, and maybe they're not that cool of a person, they're not a very nice person or whatever. You just don't vibe with them, and you're just like, okay, this is not a very cool person. All of a sudden, he or she doesn't look that cool or beautiful anymore either. Like, not as much as it did before you had no idea who this person is. And it's the exact same with you. At least it was with me, and this goes back to my first and second point, learning to love yourself. And when you like yourself from the inside, it's just so much easier to start accepting anything from the outside as well, and see yourself as a beautiful person in the mirror as well. And that's really why self-love is just so important. Next thing I want to talk about is living life to the fullest. And I feel like, I think maybe when I was 21 is when I kind of was learning about this concept of living life to the fullest, and it just sounded so attractive to me, like really amazing. And I just knew that I want to live my life to the fullest. I don't want to live a life which is boring for me. I don't want to, just do what everybody else is doing just because it should be like that. I want to make something out of my life, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how I would do it, but I just started learning about this concept. And the first times that I learned about it and I was reading about it or was thinking about it, like living your life to the fullest meant for me like living an adventurous life every single day, doing something exciting every single day. Like I really tried to live with the idea of, what if this day was the last day you lived? I think the point is to be able to still say, well, I lived a pretty amazing life. Like I lived every day, going for my dreams, not doing that what maybe I thought I was supposed to do, and just try to build something that I really wanted to build for my life, and at least try it out. Even if it doesn't work, I took the risk. And I don't know, just having this feeling that I can look back in life and say, that was pretty cool, even though my last day maybe wasn't what I would have done if I had have known that I would be dying the next day, So living your life to the fullest does not mean being irresponsible and just not giving a rat's F about anything and just doing something super crazy and adventurous every single day. You don't have to live your life as if it were your last in terms of the activities. You should try to live life as if it were your last day every day, in terms of your mindset and in terms of feeling comfortable with who you are and what you are doing. But that takes time as well. So don't expect that to happen like, right there and then. It takes time, and that's okay too, but we should all strive for that. But do take risks, do go out of your comfort zone, and that to me is living life to the fullest. And next is an important one as well, because I was one of those people who went through a little bit of a I always want to say semi-eating disorder phase in my 20s. I say semi because I don't think I was very close to going to a eating disorder for sure, and I just don't want to take that subject lightly at all. The reason I fell into an eating disorder in my early 20s was because I wanted to lose weight, and I wanted to lose it really quickly, and I just thought that would be the answer, just do 2 months of extreme exercise and no eating, lose all the weight, and voila, there it is. Then you're back in shape and everything's good. And it's crazy because obviously I feel like anyone watching this knows and is like, well, of course that doesn't work. And it doesn't. It works for that 2 months, and you will lose the weight for that 2 months. But the aftermath of that is just so much worse. There is no quick fix to a healthy, balanced lifestyle or losing weight or anything like that. Just like in life in general, there usually is no quick fix for anything. I guess through that, I started to learn about healthy habits, healthy eating habits, exercise, and what's healthy, what's not, what feels good for me and what doesn't. I yo-yoed a little bit. I was trying different things out, and now, I really finally feel so in peace with my weight, with my health. I feel the healthiest, best that I ever have in my whole entire life, which is probably also one of the reasons I feel so good about being 30, because I've never felt this good. And it's taken years of good habits and good eating habits and just building those up and living a lifestyle that is healthy and not just trying to quick fix something. The next point is a little bit with the whole there is no quick fix for almost anything in life, and that is that if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. It goes with so many things in life, whether that be, seeing a new diet where you lose weight in 2 months and then you have super cool abs and, that's it. And no, that sounds almost too good to be true, and I can guarantee you that is too good to be true, and it isn't true. But also when it came to our business, we had to experience a few failures. The experience I'm talking specifically about here is when in the beginning of our business, we were writing a business plan, and we needed some help to build up the whole financial part of our business plan. And then we went for help. We wanted to have a business coach, and their government in Munich basically supplies you, but offers like coaches at a reduced kind of price. It is a very long and complicated thing to explain, but in the end of the day, you know, it sounded so good for us. We were like, okay, well, in the end of the day, that's actually really cheap for us, while the business coaches are actually still getting all of their money because the government pays for a big part of it. So cheap for us, they get all their money, so they must be good business coaches. At least they were marketed as such in the website where they were offered. So, you know, we took that, and even though it was a lot cheaper for us, it was still not cheap. And in the end of the day, we just realized, wow, that really was too good to be true. And that's just one of the examples. So we've become very critical, and I've become very critical. If something seems too easy, too just wow, or too amazing to be true, then I question it, and I do my research, and I ask questions before I make any kind of decisions, because I have become very skeptical about that. Even though that sounds negative, but in the end of the day, it just makes life so much better, because you're critical about things and you won't be disappointed too much, and you're going to be making much better decisions in your life anyway. Okay, we are nearing to the end, and my ninth very important lesson would be that don't be afraid to fail. It's very natural from us human beings to just avoid failure, avoid discomfort, avoid anything that, you know, sounds scary or makes us anxious or just makes us feel worried or anything like that. It's just natural for us, and we will go to the other direction and choose comfort instead of actually going out of that comfort zone and choosing to take the risk of failure. I think if you can risk that every now and then those are the moments that you grow the most. Failure is a part of life. You will fail. It's inevitable. You are going to fail sometimes, and I think people need to get more comfortable with failure, because then you're going to start taking more risks and potentially building a better and more exciting life for yourself as well. Now let's go to the last one, and this one is going to be the easiest and kind of most, I think. I just wanted to end with a very easy note, and that would be that everything is going to turn out fine in the end. And especially during our business journey, we've gone through some moments where we just thought, well, what's going to happen? And I guess even during the Corona crisis, and which we're still in, you know, was very scary in the beginning when it all kind of started to escalate, and, you know, it was so scary. We just didn't know what was going to happen, and we still don't, you know. Things are going fine and very good until now, but we, you know, I think to some extent things are only starting as well. I don't know. One thing if we've had to learn, and which we really have to remind ourselves now also whenever something very scary is happening, like this whole Corona crisis thing, is that everything will be all right, even if you don't know how it's going to be all right. And it might not be the way that you imagined it to be all right, but you've come so far as you have right now. You've gone through so many things in your life. You've managed to overcome so many things in life. There is literally nothing that you can't overcome, that you won't somehow manage, and you will. If you have the right mindset, if you have the will, you will realize that everything turned out just fine and everything will be all right. That was pretty much my video for today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that you did enjoy it, and give it a thumbs up if you did. And yeah, I'm super excited to see you in my next video. Bye!